Who is it, Kean?
Yeah.
Is there a wiener on your head? What?
Well, there's one on your head. Your kitty got you.
Fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
Is that crazy guy again?
Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
He's my spirit animal.
Get up. Get up.
Pretty silly.
It's mostly just his dance move.
Oh, yeah. And his robe, the llamas?
Get up.
I didn't even realize he had llamas.
Time to wake up.
There he is.
I think I know this guy.
Get up.
How do you connect your headphones to the computer?
Is this like the pump up song? Is that how you wake up in the morning?
Yeah. That's our pump up jam now.
Ooh. Wait, is this how we're starting the show? Is that like the show intro song?
Yeah, it inspires me. He pumps me up in the mornings.
Morning, guys. Sorry about
nice.
the
You look good, man. You got the blurry background and everything.
technical delays. I know. I wanted to play with stuff. So like any
Captain America, Spider-Man.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I'll get them mounted. I'm working.
Yeah.
I got stuff I got to set up. I'm gonna paint the wall, do all sorts of cool things like you
Green
did.
screen?
I don't know actually.
Not really necessary.
I don't know.
Kean, is that your diploma on the wall behind you? Is that your certification?
Kean, San Diego State.
Yeah, that's Christina's.
I love it. Yeah, those are my wife's diplomas behind me in my office. Just
Mine's
looking
up a
down
little
on
higher.
me with
Mine's up
contempt.
there.
Oh,
there you go. Kean sit above his wife as it should.
Yeah.
Good
I
job,
went to
Kean.
real
Good job.
college.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
Fake degree, real college.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Late is better than never. Real quick, just wanted to give you an idea of what my, vision for this was. I just wanted to get together and talk to you guys. I think I learn a lot from my friends, and I don't get to talk to them that often anymore. So just like a safe place to collaborate, really about anything. Obviously, right now, I think I'm super into crypto and kind of learning about financial stuff. So that's kind of hot on my mind. But literally anything from any life aspect, I have a lot to learn about kids, how to be a better husband, etc. Kean, you have nothing to participate there. So, anyways, just kidding.
Neither do you, Ashton.
What's that?
Who the fuck are you? You don't have anything to contribute. You two sit on the other side of the table.
Yeah, exactly.
You could beg us for nuggets. Nice cat, Kean. Is that the one that pissed in your house?
Sophie, right?
I think it's the dog. That's the first time one of them peed in the house in 6 months, so I'm not really sure. I don't know how much cats pee, to be honest.
I would blame the cat. That's what the dog's doing right now.
Yeah.
Well, I like the cat better than the dog, so I'm blaming the dog.
Your dog's pretty sweet. I like your dog.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, here's your first nugget. I was just going to say, any warm-blooded American who, through grit and hard work earns a living for his family immediately becomes the lowest rung of that said family. So from a priority standpoint, I was not able to set my shit up until 5 minutes ago because my kids wanted German pancakes, the fluffy kind. And those take 25 minutes to bake. And, So
Okay, but I
that's
want some
life.
German pancakes now.
I've never even heard of German pancakes.
I'll make them. Yeah,
You bake
they're
'em?
also called you bake them. They're called Dutch oven or Dutch baby pancakes, German pancakes. They're like these big fluffy buttery pancakes. They're crazy.
Oh, so they're just cake.
It's cake for breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's baking while people are losing 50% on their crypto portfolios right now.
Oh God, yeah. That's,
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Tell
yeah,
me
that's
more.
pretty much the first and most foremost thing. Which
Tell me more.
Jesus, took a puke. Is this the end?
Yeah.
Did the cat
More?
puke?
No, the market took a puke.
Yeah.
No, it's the beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
The
let me show you
beginning of
something
the
real quick.
end. Quick question. This is recording, but it's not streaming live.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Correct.
So we just get to post it later. Fun.
Yeah. And I'm trying to show you. Can you see this?
Wee bit complicated.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Kean's cracking me up right now.
I'm trying to hook up my.
The look on your face, I couldn't
do it.
I couldn't take it. I'm sorry.
What is he doing?
That's better, right?
You looked like you were just like staring into just the ether.
I was like trying to Google it on my phone, and I have no clue how to do it.
It's hilarious.
Oh, guys, this is gonna be an adventure. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's gonna be an adventure.
I'm gonna play around with my web.
Where's the next like support here?
God, man.
Jesus.
This is probably the time to take a nibble.
Yeah, unless you think it's gonna go
But
here.
yeah, I mean the truth is we could be going
20,000.
back to about 17,000. Yeah.
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 I heard yesterday somebody said that Kraken came out and said they see the floor at like 26,000.
26.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, Jesus, I don't even see anything going on there.
Go to the
That's
bottom
crazy.
of this go to the bottom part of the little M shape.
Here.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the bottom there?
Yeah, that's like where we're at.
Yeah,
No,
we're pretty
31.
close.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, if we go below that, then it's gonna.
We wicked down to 29, but
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. So
if-
the question is, are you a buyer right now, or are you waiting?
I said I think you could nibble a little bit
Mhm.
if you had
Yeah.
cash waiting. You could buy a little bit here, but I wouldn't jump in by any means. That's scary. That's a scary looking chart right there.
Yeah. And Bitcoin? Are you guys Bitcoin maxis, or what do you guys buy when Bitcoin's down? Any favorite
Yoni.
altcoins? Are you
I would
ETH?
Ether,
Ether?
but there's a lot of different alternatives that have better energy initiatives, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I'm
was it
long. I'm long on.
I'm not.
Cardano.
I'm pretty basic in the crypto. I just stick with the big boys for the most part. But
Yeah. I think you're
I mean,
probably
I'm just
safe
worried
there.
about. Yeah, I'm worried about where money's gonna go, and
I'm long
Yeah,
on
it's good.
Cardano for that reason. I hold a lot of Cardano because I like the platform they're building and the academic approach to their proof of stake. And
Yeah, it seems like
by holding it, I want to participate in the network. I haven't had a chance to do that, but I actually want to stake my Cardano into a pool and build a node. So I'm doing it also to learn. And I think Cardano is going to be a cool platform.
you're not staking currently.
Right now, no. I haven't had time. I want to do it right. I want to learn it. I have to do it myself step to step, and I have to do it securely. Like privacy and security are a big deal. So I have to be really diligent about every step and make sure you screw up one thing, your keys, your crypto, it can be gone. So,
Right. Okay, so you're very. Do you keep most of your stuff on cold storage, or?
yeah, I've got a mix of cold and hot wallets, and then I'm going to consolidate. Like,
Weren't you selling those for a while? You were selling those like 3 years ago, dude.
I was. That's how I got into crypto. Actually, earlier than that, but yeah, around late 2016, I was a trend follower and I was selling on Amazon a lot of products. And I saw ledgers and I saw an opportunity and got in touch with the company out there in France and just souped up a ton of inventory. And I've got, I think, this hilarious photo. This is the townhouse we used to have in Agora, and there's like boxes of ledgers. And my wife thought I was crazy. She's like, "What in the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I was like, "Honey, ahead of your time there too, man."
I was like, "Honey, don't worry. I'm gonna make a killing on these." And she's like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And then so I was buying these ledgers at like $40, $35 from Ledger, and then I actually sat on them, and the market went crazy. The ledger became the #1 electronics product on Amazon, and I ended up being the only seller. And I had a massive inventory, so I sat there and I raised the price to like $140.
Wow!
On each ledger, and I just made a killing. I just
how did you go about finding these trends? Like, how did you spot them?
Well, funny, really quick add to this. Yoni was an investor in that deal. I needed to raise enough capital to get in on it. So Yoni came in and funded me. And because of that, I was able to grab all that inventory. So little known fact, Yoni is actually the earliest investor in crypto on this fucking podcast. So
he's a non-participatory VC.
He's got the best return. His return on that deal was
it was a good deal. It was a quick deal. It was a good deal.
What'd you make on that? Like 25% in a month and a half?
Yeah, about. Yeah.
Can't complain.
So, when the market's down like this, none of you guys try to sell. Do you guys try? I mean, what is it? HODL?
HODL. Yeah, HODL.
Actually, I found out that
what is HODL? Is that some crypto meme or something? What is that?
Yeah.
HODL.
HODL is, you misspelled hold. So HODL is holders, and HODL means just like you hold on to your crypto. Like you don't care if it's down or if it's up, you just hold what you have and then keep going. Another term is diamond hands. So if you ever see people on Twitter posting the diamond in the hands. Yeah.
Diamond hands is an old fashioned, like that's goes with stocks too. But
okay, well, here's my question of the day for you guys. I spoke to Ashton earlier about it, but my question is, so the last time crypto dipped, stocks were still pretty expensive relative to I think where they've come down to now and maybe where they're going in the next 3 to 6 months. So do you think that people are going to buy cryptocurrencies, or do you think that people are going to get into stocks? If they're both relatively cheap, I'm just interested to think about where the money will go, because there is a lot of cash on the sideline, I think, in money markets right now. So it's going to go somewhere. Where is it going to go?
It looks like, based on that chart we just looked at, crypto is almost like exactly where it was like a year ago. So you're getting like a year discount. Are tech stocks, or like, whatever stocks you're talking about like essentially a year ago pricing?
No, they hit these levels back in October. They'd come down, like they took a dip and are at the same levels they're at now, back from a dip in October. So my guess is stocks are going to get a lot cheaper. That's why I'm saying, like, are people really just going to jump into crypto? Are they going to buy value companies or other stuff?
I'll say I'm going to give a lens not from the investor standpoint, because I'll say that I don't have the view of the investor sentiment between stocks and crypto, but I will say that the crypto space is heavily investing in marketing, like with crypto.com buying the Staples Center. So they're trying to get a lot of people onboarded to crypto. Now, those people coming into crypto are going to be the people where their first start is like, okay, I'm just going to exchange my US dollars for some Bitcoin, and then they're going to sit on it. It's not really an investor, but I'm saying that's an inflow into the market. So that's kind of the one viewpoint I have, is that I think that there will continue to be new users adopting Bitcoin because of all the marketing going on. And, you'll just start to see that adoption curve of, the really, really smart people, and then like the not so smart people, and then college educated, and then middle America, know. But from an investment
real money,
standpoint,
like corporate money, like retail money is retail money, and it can move the charts. But like, really, it's like when are companies that have taken millions or billions out of the market, are they going to put that back into stocks now, or are they going to start dabbling into DeFi? Are they going to start trying to make 8% returns on their stable coin? Like, it's like one of these slippery slopes. I heard someone saying it's like certain companies will put like 1-2%, like they dabble, and then they realize very fast it becomes like 90% of their liquid cash, because they can literally just have it in USDC or Tether. Maybe less likely Tether nowadays, but making 8%, 9%, which is like in general markets, like that's, if you can make that with zero risk, you're like a god.
Yeah, there's a couple things to unpack there. I want to say, one, I think those interest rates you're seeing right now they'll dissipate over time, right? Because they're based on spreads, and they're based on disconnected systems and being able to arbitrage and leverage. And as Web3 gets broader and I guess more consolidated, unfortunately, I think you'll see a lot of that go away. So that's being used to attract people in right now, but I think those yields are going to really dissipate in the future, because that's not going to be the benefit. That's not why people are going to come to Coinbase, because they can get 8% on their money or anything. It's not a good business model for Coinbase over the long run. And yeah, from an institutional standpoint, that's a great point. Some of the they say like we haven't even seen the sovereign funds jump in yet. Like Saudi Arabia or Norway, none of them own any Bitcoin yet, but the U.S. government does, and other governments are. And then, have you guys heard of like Michael Saylor and what he did with MicroStrategy? Are you familiar with that story?
Yeah, I mean, generally,
I know MicroStrategy, but
I know,
and I've seen him talk. But what do you mean? What did he do?
He's a never seller, long-term hodler.
Oh yeah, he's
buying the dip.
He after the last crash, or when was it? I don't remember the timeline.
Like a month ago. Right?
He basically, he's emerged a month ago, but he did this a while back. Long story short, he looked at his little business, MicroStrategy, which was a software company. It was doing like $500 million a year, and he went to the banks, and the banks were like, "We'll lend you, $2 billion at 3% or 6% or whatever." And he's like, "Okay." So he took it and he bet $2 billion on Bitcoin. He literally just bought Bitcoin on the books of MicroStrategy, and then it's gone up. He's booked like a $5 billion profit. MicroStrategy stock went from 100 to like 800, even though it got hammered today. And he's a long-term holder now, and so he's going to keep investing in that. You might see more companies do that. My partner saw him do this and was like, should I do the same thing? Should I cash in my large business and just go buy Bitcoin? It's like, I don't know. Some risky business guys are starting to do it.
Yeah, he keeps buying the dip too. I'm interested though. His average, I just looked it up. His average Bitcoin price, he has 123,000, almost 123,000 Bitcoin. His average Bitcoin price is just under 30. So he's like lower. So we could approach his, but he's not in like.
Some of these people are going to. Yeah, I was going to say this guy is he's one guy with this strategy and this opinion. Like, there's a chance that these people are going to lose it all right now. I mean, it's not to say that crypto's worthless, but maybe the valuations are just way ahead of themselves. I mean, are there really that many coins out there that, based off their market cap, are whatever $50 billion businesses or $15 businesses even, or are they really $1 billion businesses or $3 billion businesses? So I don't know. I'm worried. I just think it could come down.
I kind of view this when I look at charts like what you were showing us, Ashton, is I'm seeing Bitcoin, because it has so many different properties. We're still uncertain. Is it a currency? Is it an asset? Is it for investment? Does it power things? Is it money transfer? Is it all of the above? So I view it as like there's a base layer of value in Bitcoin based on a lot of the other properties. And then there's a frothy layer based on all of this investor craziness. So that's how I view it. I don't see Bitcoin as a crashing to zero. I just see a lot of the frothiness as natural, because people are uncertain where's the extra they're betting on where the extra value is, but I already see the base layer of value locked into Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies. Like Axie Infinity uses Ethereum, and Axie Infinity just generated $2.7 billion of real revenue. versus Activision's revenue of 8 billion, right? They're a real gaming company. They just use blockchain as their network and generate their revenue through that network. It's pretty simple. So that's a real business to me, and Ethereum is a real network. So Ethereum to me already has a base layer in there. They get 3% or more of a $2.7 billion gaming company, just one to start, and imagine how many more apps are going to be built, right? They're the app store. Ethereum became the app store. So you got a real business. You're creating real digital value. Music is going to flow through there. NFTs are flowing through there. Like, all creative value is in Ethereum right now. That's the base layer to me. Then there's the investor frothiness on top of it or below it.
Is there going to be any effect? Is there going to be any effect to all that when Ethereum goes to 2.0 and with a proof of stake and all that?
Yeah, it should just continue to improve performance. That's always the game for these chains now, right? Increase throughput, decrease transaction fees. Ethereum wants to do its best to remain the dominant platform for these DeFis and distributed apps, but the new chains coming out are better. They're, it's like, do you guys want to invest in geocities.com, or do you want to invest in, you guys know what backscratcher.com is? You ever hear of that?
Backscratcher.com.
That's the original name for Google. That's what they called themselves, because it was like a backlink tracker. So they called themselves backscratcher.com.
Oh, shit. Interesting.
Yeah. Would you have invested in backscratcher.com?
No.
Maybe not. But that's what I'm saying. So I view Ethereum as like GeoCities. It's clunky. It did the job. It got people onto the system, but it'll fade away one day, in my opinion.
Ethereum will?
Ethereum, yeah. Unless Vitalik can really make some breakthroughs on the improvement, but he started to promise a lot of things that he's not delivering on. We were supposed to be on proof of stake by now. Vitalik, yeah. We were supposed to already be on proof of stake, and we're not. So.
Yeah, and it's like kind of this like, oh, it'll happen here, it'll happen this 6 months, next year, like, and it kind of just keeps getting pushed down the road. And now there's all these like layer 2 scaling solutions that are either competing with Ethereum or using Ethereum as like kind of a their side chain, like similar to like Polkadot or Parachain.
And Ethereum's a terrible idea because it's like the same concept. Imagine if every time Apple updated the firmware on their chart or on their app store, you had to go in and update your code so that it connects correctly. That's what's happening on layer 2 platforms. Any changes to layer 1 Ethereum, the layer 2 team's got to go back in. Dude, the technical debt on those projects is just going to start to pile up. And like those guys are not going to keep up with the code. They're going to get stuck. Right. So there's a lot of people. Do
you have any favorite, like, I guess, competitors to Ethereum? You think any people specifically are standing out as a Ethereum killer, they call them?
Cardano was one, but I haven't researched it enough. So I'm just throwing opinions out now. That's it.
Interesting. What's Cardano at right now? Cardano.
$1.44 maybe.
I totally agree with you with the long-term story on crypto.
It was at like 1.1 this morning. 106.
Is to buy and hold. I'm just talking about a general story about valuations just across the board this year, coming down.
Going to go?
Yeah, the Fed is the Fed. We've never had a Fed like this, basically in the last 20 years that we have right now.
This is a hawkish Fed right now. We have a hawkish Fed.
Aggressive. Yeah, they're talking very, very aggressively right now. And it's already affecting the market and could affect it a lot more because this is supposedly just starting. I mean, they're technically, like I told you the other day, Ashton, they're technically still buying.
They're still like buyers now.
So, I mean, that's my big question is it's going to be interesting to see how low this goes. When will all the, as they say, like the light holders or whatever, the people who aren't holding for the long term.
The weak hands.
When are they all getting out?
You look on, there's a lot of on-chain data, and I'm trying to get into, I'm very new with it right now and learning how to do on-chain analysis with like either Glassnode is kind of the one I'm using right now, but because there's a lot of information you can learn with blockchain being so transparent in that way, you can kind of see where the money is moving. And it's clear that right now and during times that are similar to this, it's all the weak hands selling to the people that own like 10, 100 plus Bitcoin. Like you can see the wallet addresses, you can see the people that are accumulating more Bitcoin and who's selling their Bitcoin. And so that tells me that like, it's basically just like the suckers selling to the whales and the people that are actually going to make profit in the long run. Now, obviously, this data can be manipulated in certain ways. People can open multiple wallets, and if they really wanted to like transfer them and kind of be sneaky in that way, there is ways to to do it. But I think there's a lot to learn from that kind of analysis, and so that's what I'm trying to learn more in that regard. But yeah, Kean?
Sorry, this thing.
The cat.
Oh man. Another
Kean,
thing
what's on your shirt today? I want to see your shirt today. You always wear a good shirt. Oh, it's your Eagle shirt.
Nice.
What a hero!
My,
I love
like-
that Eagle.
It's the shirt that makes me look more Republican.
I
Yeah,
went for
yeah.
Godzilla today.
Oh, nice. Everyone's got the 6 shirts.
Why not?
I am a unicorn, so I'm always special.
Yo's
Oh,
a
yeah,
unicorn. I love Yoni's office setup, like unicorn, like the cute little picture board in the background with the children.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
kids were on earlier. They were hilarious.
Yeah, my kids are just blobs in the blur, just a little head.
That's the best.
Someone mentioned, I forget who, maybe it was on the All In podcast, but that real, if you look at like, I don't know what real interest rates are, like, because interest rates,
They're supremely negative right now. Yeah,
what?
they're very negative right now. Real interest rates.
So he was saying that like, okay, if inflation is at least 7%, and you could argue that like, yeah, maybe it's actually more if you whatever.
Right.
But for CPI, let's say it's about 7%,
Right.
and if interest rates are gonna go from 0 to like 1 or like 1, like 2, whatever. It basically, yeah, you have like negative interest rates, and so
Yeah.
or
No,
is it
yeah, it basically you're losing 7% a year on your cash
On your
because of
cash.
CPI, and
right?
you can only
but
earn
basically his argument was that like
2%.
even if interest rates went up to 4%, 5%, it's still worth borrowing the money versus compared to the money, the amount you would lose on. Like you could still borrow at 5% and make 7% in the market just on inflation.
Right.
So
you're
in
saying
that regard,
just
you're still
on-
like it's still better to borrow. Like his argument was that it could still produce a multi-year bull market, even though it looks like everything's up in the air right now. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with the Fed and how those rates will affect businesses and stuff like that. But if his argument was that if you looked at it, like it was Dan Tapiera on Twitter, you can follow him. He's interesting. He was saying that it still kind of encourages people to borrow money.
Well, even if you borrowed money and just put it in a stable coin, wouldn't you make a few percent on it that way?
Right. That was the argument. And Andrew's and Stodel argument was that rate
gamer tag.
Okay, nice. That rate's probably not going to stay there forever. Definitely not forever. And so it's probably going to come down. And it usually comes down as more money comes in. That's kind of how those like algorithms are set up. It's like the more money comes in, the rate goes down, money comes out. They kind of entice people to jump on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting perspective because there's a lot, obviously a lot of FUD right now, or a lot of fear, I should say. It's not really FUD. It's just real fear in what's going to happen with when the Fed starts like stopping their purchasing or when they actually increase rates. But his argument is that maybe it's a little overblown.
It could be.
Yeah,
100%. We're just in the thrills of a downturn right now. So
yeah, right.
we'll find out what it is exactly.
What happens on the other side
with time. Yeah, exactly. You always get to the other side of these. So whatever. We'll see what happens.
Here's going to be a fun part. I'm going to ask an extremely naive question. I haven't really looked at the markets or the news recently. So what exactly happened? Did the markets crash? I looked now. I thought Cardano was at $1.50 and it's at $1.
I know you said 140. I was like, no, this shit went down.
Catch me up. I have no idea what happened. So
The last 3 days have been really bad.
Like less than a week ago.
But it's all
now
markets.
for just crypto, it's markets. Yeah, because I saw Shopify drop
markets.
10% and a bunch
Yeah.
of. Okay, so the whole markets are
People
taking a
were saying
shit.
I think that the the tech sector is crashing.
Okay.
And I mean,
And is the main
all
driver
stocks are
that
down off the highs, but specifically tech, it's valuation based. All the
yeah, is
value,
it
all the highly valued companies that were selling at like 100 times their revenues and beyond, they're all getting massive compressions
corrections?
right now.
Good,
There,
like they
yeah,
should.
Yeah.
And is it because the
yeah.
Fed was teasing interest rate increases, more of them?
Not even teasing. I think it's a
Yeah.
little more than teasing. They're basically coming
Saying
down
that's
hard
going
on
to
it.
happen. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
3 times
refinance
next
your
year.
homes and lock in your
I mean,
butts.
it's not-
Let's do this.
It's not a bad thing because I'm sure you guys all see that things really are getting more expensive now. I mean,
yeah,
just across
you gotta,
the board.
you gotta, yeah, you have to
So,
raise interest rates. You have to cool it
It's
off. And
the risk is that the inflation ends up creating a recession in the economy if people just stop going out there and buying stuff because it's getting too expensive and they bought it 2 years ago, so they don't really need it, so they're going to wait to spend it. Like those are the kind of like consumer, I think, choices that can create a downturn in the economy. So that's the real risk. So they're trying to stamp that out, which naturally is going to hurt the market a little bit, but it's not normal to have such a crazy stock market expansion like we did. So
Mhm.
we'll see. And crypto had a crazy expansion. I mean, let's face it, the returns were way better in crypto than stocks. So there's a chance that crypto, if the Fed's easy money policy was, helped create that situation, that could come down a lot too. That's just my point.
I'm gonna share this real quick.
I feel like since this is kind of new to me, the whole investing thing in the last year or so, that one thing I've noticed is a lot of it is just spoken into truth. You know, if 100 people or all these influencers start talking about the market's going to start crashing and going down, it's like the whole psychology of it. And I think it can flip the other way, or it seems like it will eventually. And then maybe a lot of new people get into crypto at that point. And then because all the new people are coming in and there's added money, then it would, take a turn the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's for sure like a lot of manipulation and then just like social sentiment that swings. I feel like the crypto market, even more so than normal markets, for sure.
Yeah. I think from a human psychology standpoint, remember in like The Big Short, those guys were really good at predicting black swan events because people have a bias where they have a tendency to, overestimate a positive and underestimate the negative. So to me, like what you're saying, Kean, the investor sentiment probably has to go past 50%, right? There's not enough noise in just a couple influencers. It has to be a real tidal wave of people saying, "All right, we're all fucked now together."
Yeah.
Ashton, what is this index showing? What are the two
Real quick,
axes?
do you think that plays out more or less nowadays, kind of with like, like crypto Twitter and Discord and yeah, it seems like that could even like make those extremes even more.
I mean,
Because-
the big concept with like sports betting, with the over-under, the under hits more than 50% of the time, but people always are rooting for more points in the game, so they're always betting over.
Right.
This is the
same
Bitcoin
concept.
Fear Greed Index, which I should look exactly what it takes into. It takes into like a lot of different.
As the price goes up, it changes the color based on so right now we're in extreme fear. So we think it's going to crash as it goes down. Yeah. So as it goes up, people are happy. They think it's going to keep going up. Yeah. It's like,
this is showing you the price. It shows you the price, like, and then it gives you the color. Yeah. With like what the actual Fear Greed Index is, which the index is based off like a lot of like different categories that it has listed somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you can see like
Bitcoin crashes, people shit their pants.
This was a while. This was a while ago, though. This is old.
Not that hard to kind of understand
It's historical.
that happens when it goes down. People they shit their pants when it's up. People are excited. It's a little bit opposite of what kind of your investment strategy should be because people buy at the top and sell at the bottom, which is obviously the worst way to make money. But
the problem I see with this is correlation and causation, right? Is the fear driving the price or is the price driving the fear?
Right. And I think maybe that would be a bad way to look at this chart. For me, I was looking at it. I was trying to say like, okay, when we see levels like this, how long is it usually until we see levels like this? Like, what is there a pattern with that? And it looks like and it changes too, because back when the people that were buying Bitcoin at 3,000 are a lot different than the people that are buying Bitcoin at 20,000 or 30,000. I think it's like it was definitely more niche based. It was harder to buy Bitcoin. It was like hard to buy Bitcoin back then. And you had to store it on a wallet. People lost it on their hard drives. There was a lot of different barriers to entry, and now those are a lot less. So much less. There's so many different like rails onto crypto nowadays. They're spending, like you said, they're spending so much money. But it looked like there was about 6 months between like 2019 between the low and of fear and the peak of euphoria, and then it looked like there was like 10 months between in 2020 to 2021, and I guess it kind of just, you got to decide if this is kind of like the low, or if we're going to kind of see something even lower. But yeah, it kind of anywhere between 6 and 12 months is what kind of it looked like between those cycles. And there is thoughts of like a lengthening cycle theory too, as well. As more money gets into the market, these swings happen over longer periods of time. It's less correlated with the Bitcoin halving cycle, because there's always such a big supply in the market that the amount mined is actually, something like 90% of all Bitcoin is already mined, or maybe even more than that. So it's not like these huge swings happen based on the mining now. But I thought that was, something interesting.
Yeah. The mining, think of it. So that's true, but the last Bitcoin won't be mined until 2140. So
Sure.
we'll be dead. But miners actually, think of them more as they're more of like the infrastructure and the transaction processors for the blockchains.
Right. Like building like the proof of work, like that's where the work comes from.
Exactly. That's where the security comes from. That's where like they verify the transactions, and they get paid in transaction fees. That's where the money is.
Yeah. Yeah. But doesn't it become harder and harder to earn a Bitcoin though? Every like halving cycle?
Yeah, but there's two parts there. There's the actual, like, you get a reward in Bitcoin, but you also get paid in the transaction fees. Those will happen forever. So even after the last Bitcoin is mined, the miners will still make transaction fees forever, because every Bitcoin that moves requires a miner to verify it, and they get paid that fee.
So then they're just working for the transaction fees almost. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And as the network grows, the fees grow.
Do you know I keep reading these stories about people on the Ethereum network, like getting rewarded like $500,000 worth of Ethereum. Like there's like random jackpots or something. Does anyone know anything about that?
Well, is it airdrops of NFTs, or are you just talking about random Ethereum arriving in your wallet?
No, like I don't know any of the actual like technology behind it, but is it the same with Bitcoin where there's people mining it, or does it work differently?
Ethereum, same.
So I kept reading these stories. Let me see if I can find one. But let me come back to it.
While you're looking for that, this is just interesting and kind of obvious if you're at all in the space. But the amount of NFT flow, the money flowing into NFTs has gone exponentially up recently. Is that something you're into at all?
Well, I am, for sure.
That's what I mean.
Waiting for Kean to pick out something.
Yeah. How do you go about? So it's kind of clear to me that this is definitely part of the future, and it's kind of, we're just like touching on like how NFTs are kind of part of the future. I feel like the PFPs, the profile pictures as they like call them, it's kind of just like the tip, right? And or just at least it's the entry point. But there's so much more utility you can see behind like the idea of an NFT, which is essentially just digital ownership, digital authenticity of anything. And that concept can be like expanded into like the way I've been like looking at it is almost everything. And can kind of revolutionize what you were talking about at Web3. The integration between Web3 and NFTs, I feel like, is very, very like close. So yeah, I mean, right now, I think I've dabbled in a few of the profile pictures, but it's still really hard for me to figure out how to evaluate, how to find, like, basically how to find a good project. find something good. And I guess how I should be thinking about it. Should I be thinking about like, I'm trying to find something good, and good means that it'll be worth more in a month or two? Or does good mean like, this is something that it could create value to me forever? And like, you know, I guess, am I thinking of more like an investor? Or am I thinking more like a trader with these things? It's it still feels like kind of like a black box for me.
Sure. I can add, I've done a lot of research in the space, so I can add some context, but I might talk for like 5 minutes straight. So maybe I should take
I'll show
a
you my
breather.
NFT
Why don't I let, do you guys want to, do other guys want to comment on NFTs?
I have one general question that you guys keep, or Ashton keeps bringing up. When you guys say long term, what does long term mean to you?
Good question. That is a good question. 5 years.
I look at 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess I was probably thinking more like 3 to 5 years, 5 years, on the order of 5 years.
On the order of it? What does that even mean? I want to know what that even means. On the order of it?
Order of 5 years.
On the order, like, 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know. I think it just means like around.
I like it.
The way I'm using it.
I wanted to do a crypto trade on the show. I wanted to
do one live. Why don't we get you to buy your first crypto skull and join the
No, I don't own any crypto.com coin. I'm thinking about buying 3,000 right now. It's 33 cents.
Yeah.
What was it? What did it peak at?
90.
What about what's Voyager at? Down from
and it was 22 cents back in March. And you can get it for 33 right now.
Do you want
This
to
is what I'm talking about. You're either going to be able to get crypto coin for today's money, 33 cents, or you're going to be able to get it for 10 cents like 3 months from now. Or 2 months from now.
To be honest, my plan, largely in due to the fact that I have little capital right now to deploy, because I'm in the process of buying a house, and they don't like when I show them my statements and half of it is just crypto money, Coinbase transactions coming out of it. Right. So I actually had to send them like my KuCoin. Like, they're like, "Can you proof of funds?" I was like, "How about this? Well, does this work?" And I showed them like my KuCoin app. They're like, "This isn't even legal in the United States." I was like, "Never mind."
I love it.
So
this is going to be a fun journey.
I'm largely not buying right now, and it's probably good because I do like, my mind tells me that there will be cheaper prices probably in 1 to 3 to maybe 6 months. My goal, the thing I have on my calendar is like in March the Fed meets and is probably going to almost undoubtedly make their first rate hike of like 0.25 to 5%, whatever. And I think that will probably either before that or around that time will cause like some red in the market. So that's kind of like the date I'm looking for.
All right.
Although there is some dates I wanted to just tell you, because they're in February. There are three different companies that could potentially get a Bitcoin ETF approved in the United States. And a lot of people have thought for a while that the Bitcoin ETF, there's Canadian Bitcoin ETFs and maybe another country ETF, which did cause like a little pump, but American money is kind of where is the biggest money, I think. And if an ETF got approved, then I think even more companies would feel comfortable besides just retail investing into that, and could potentially cause a big pump in the markets and be that kind of catalyst that a lot of people were looking for. And that's in February. There's 3 of them in February. So
we have one, right?
America does not have a Bitcoin. Okay, sorry, a spot ETF. We have a futures traded ETF, which is just paper money. We're betting on the future price of it. But like a spot ETF, every time someone puts $1 in it, they go out and they buy $1 of Bitcoin. And so it actually moves the price of Bitcoin. The spot thing kind of creates this weird situation where like sometimes there's discrepancy in the price of Bitcoin and like what like the for example, Grayscale is trading at. I think sometimes they're recently been trading at like a 20% discount. Yeah. So I don't think so it doesn't actually
traded at premiums, which made no sense.
Which actually brings the price down because people are less likely to actually buy the expensive Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it kind of is not good for the market. But
I'm buying 1,500 algos right now. I can't. It's gotten too cheap.
Too cheap.
You can't not. You mean?
Yeah.
Can't not.
Yeah, can't not.
It's back to where I
Can't not
bought
do
it a long time ago.
But
So
let me
let
hear.
me-
Let
so
me hear your NFT
before I
thesis.
drop a little NFT knowledge,
Okay.
one, I was going to make sure Kean was still awake, or maybe he's looking at his phone.
Kean, did you find your
It looked
chart?
like-
Did you find
I think
your?
he was looking at his
your
phone,
thing
but
were
you
looking
looked like
for?
you were sleeping. So, yeah, did you find the chart?
No, well, I was talking about that. Are you talking about that jackpot thing I was saying earlier?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
were you talking
yeah,
about?
Yeah, I found a story on it, and I kind of read it, but I'm still not even sure now what it means.
Gotcha.
You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, just read the key point.
Okay, so an individual miner struck it big by mining a block on their own and receiving a reward of about $540,000 of Ethereum. I mean, I can
Okay,
go.
I understand that. I understand what happened there.
What happened?
That's random. So part of the power and security of the blockchains that use. So I have a mining computer. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I wanted to set up my whole
Raspberry
everything.
Pi?
Oh no, this is
something
this is like
serious.
a water cooled like mining rig. So I'm mining actually some Zcoin right now, some Firo, to learn and to understand what this does and why it does it. And so it's interesting. I've learned. I'll cut to the chase. You're putting your computer power into the network because it powers the blockchain and it provides the security. And the way the security works is you need the person with the most power can actually build the longest chain and solve the puzzle. Because the way the blockchain works is it's a crypto chain that you need to solve in order to receive your reward. Think of it like a Sudoku puzzle, right? Really challenging to solve, really easy to verify. Everybody can go in and just quickly be like, yeah, you got it right. But to solve it is really challenging. So lots of computing power. The group that can put the most computing power is most likely to win because the reward also has a randomness. It's like whoever wins will get the reward. When you mine, you join a pool. It's a global pool of all these computers, and it's cloud mining. So I join a pool, and the pool together goes up, tries to win the reward. It wins the reward, and then it splits it to all the miners and takes a little fee. So that's how these guys did it. Sounds like one dude decided to take the risk of plugging in one computer, not joining a pool, and just letting it run for like a year, and one time won a reward. And that's super rare, but it can happen.
It said
you're incentivized to join a pool.
It said his chance
should have joined a pool.
1.4 million.
Yeah. The chance of that happening is so rare that his computer just happened to solve the equation faster than the professional massive data centers doing it. So
arguably, most people that are doing what he's doing are never going to get a Bitcoin, never going to get rewarded. Essentially,
they shouldn't.
That's why it incentivizes people to join bigger groups. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you want to pool your resource.
Does that happen? They said like 3 times.
What's that?
Does that
happened 3 times in the last couple of weeks?
Sorry,
it's happened 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, which is like you're saying, it's pretty rare.
Yeah. I can do it. I could try it. I could switch this over to Ethereum by myself and just see if I can snag 1 ETH.
Real quick, before you talk about your NFTs, because I have you on mining, what do you look at? Like, I know miners like shift what they're mining because it like based on like their rewards or what's like giving the better return. What do you look at? What are you looking at when you're deciding that? And can you just switch to anything? You said you're doing Zcash or is it
Zcash? Yeah,
Zcash.
Yeah,
I know
Zcash.
that people are mining that right now because is that like a better reward at this time?
It's based on a couple factors. For me, it's just a very particular use case right now. Okay. There's a couple things. One, a lot of miners are set up to work for particular algorithms. So the first algorithm on Bitcoin is called the SHA 256 algorithm. 256. And then a lot of the other blockchains based on that, those miners can still calculate against that. And the early miners were like the CPU in your computer. They started there. Then they moved on to EVGAs, and then they realized GPUs and graphic cards could mine really well. So there's been a progression. Now we're in the ASIC world, these application-specific integrated circuit computers that just mine.
They just mine specific coins, or just mine
specific algorithms, right? So you could take like Bitmain is one of the big mining companies, and they build their S19j Pros that can mine Bitcoin. But it can mine a couple other coins in that SHA 256 algorithm. So you could switch, but Bitcoin is the best one. It has the highest rewards, but you would look at, there's something called the global hash rate, which is the difficulty of each of the blockchains.
Mhm.
And you can look at calculations. If I shared my screen, you could just look at a list of like profitability. Like I can type in this graphics card and it'll tell me immediately, like, here's the ranking of the most profitable coins. And I just picked one and I've just been mining it. I probably got $150 in my wallet. Well, actually less now with parent crash.
So I'm not like, I haven't looked into computer chips and cards and even bought a new computer recently. Is it creating like a market for like NVIDIA and AMD to create like really, like you said, really specific chips, or like make ones that are like have all these like a more pliable use case where that can switch amongst different like
well, this is where it's going to get this is where it's going to get really fun, because I didn't really talk too much about my background. My my former boss and mentor is the head of artificial intelligence at NVIDIA. So I asked him this very question, and NVIDIA will never get into mining. They'll never get into cryptocurrency. They hate it because all the miners fucked up their main business, which is gaming and government. So that their biggest pools are gaming, government, and I forgot what the other one was. And he basically said the supply chain issues of the last, like their stock tanked because they ordered all these video cards in 2017 because the miners were going crazy. And then the market crashed and they had a huge stockpile of graphics cards and their stock tanked because investors were like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know how to run your business. NVIDIA will never get into cryptocurrency.
Interesting. That seems like a short-sighted way to think though, right? Like obviously, yeah, it created a problem, but there's a huge demand for their product.
Yeah. So they're doing it. So they're satiating that demand. I mean, it's still a $500 million business unit for them. So they're making a cryptocurrency specific card but it's not to cater to the cryptocurrency.
And so
miners.
they don't buy
It's
other
to
cards.
placate them. Yeah. It's to tell them to F off. So that's like
interesting.
The loser department.
Yeah. You should stay in contact with that guy and keep giving us the alpha.
He was he came and he spoke in my class at USC. Really interesting guy. He travels around the world and just advises governments and corporations on how artificial intelligence is going to blow their mind and change their world. The other thing is he doesn't understand blockchain. He's like, blockchain and AI are totally different, right? He's like, I didn't even know about blockchain until 3 months ago. I had to go research it to figure it out. And he's like, it's a completely different system concept. He's like, they'll never play nice.
All right. Tell me your NFT wisdom.
Oh, so yeah, what I was going to say, and I threw a link, by the way. If you click on this link, you can see my live wallet of my Firo.
Oh, check out his NFT wallet, Chaz Magdos.
Now, careful. Let's make sure we can't just
I
in here
know.
and steal it. Dude, okay, so actually I want some Dead Mouse NFTs. I haven't gone to look. I know he had like a series 1, 2, and 3, and I missed out on everything. So guide me through that, and we'll go shopping.
Oh, wait.
We're going shopping?
Messing around with stuff. We're going shopping. Not today.
That wasn't...
Another time. But we'll talk about it. No, let me add this context, because this is really fun. So a big thing that Michael Saylor talked about with Bitcoin and why MicroStrategy was big on him is, to him, he sees Bitcoin as the first asset that someone can take to their grave. It's really powerful. And Jonathan and I talked about this last night with the family. So he views this as it's the first time where the keys in your head are the control to an asset that you can move and take with you globally. And nobody can, you can take it to the grave. Gold, right? Gold is one of the best solid assets in there. Your gold can be stolen no matter what. The pharaohs tried to bury the gold in their pyramids with them because they wanted to take it to their grave. Well, you can't. We dig it up. The gold's ours. Bitcoin, you can take to the grave. That's fungible, right? So Bitcoin is fungible assets you can take to your grave. Non-fungible is really cool. It's a unique component, but you can also take it to your grave. That's what's powerful about it. So think of it in that way. It's the first time that you really have control over an asset that you can transfer and nobody else can control it. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can steal it, right? The art was stolen from all families.
That's like theoretical though, right? That no one can take it from you.
Correct.
No,
No,
like,
your keys.
so many Bitcoin
your-
have been lost. They're gone forever. Like they were, either they died and lost or they lost their crypto. Those
Yeah.
are gone.
It's all.
But doesn't the ledger know what wallet it's in?
So the trick to the ledger
Yeah.
is my ledger has also a 25 word key. That's the key. That's what's in the ledger. And to access that key, you're using ledger encryption to enter a PIN. So like my PIN is like 112233. Clearly it's not. But I enter that PIN, it
Wait, what was it?
unencrypts my key. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. You recorded. It unencrypts those 25 words and uses the 25 words to control my stuff. That's how it works. The 25 words are what matters. If I memorize those 25 words and just make sure I don't forget them, then I have the control of that account forever, wherever I go in the world.
What if
that's
you
what
get
it is,
dementia?
theoretically.
What if
So,
you get
yeah,
dementia when
so-
you're
Then
old?
yeah, you got to have. Did you hear the story? There's a CEO of a really big exchange that died with $350 million of the company money locked up because, like an idiot, he didn't have a backup plan, and he died while traveling. He was like a 31-year-old backpacker. Now the whole company's toast.
Jesus, there are these
350 million out the door.
multi-sig wallets that allow multiple people to own partial like access to that smart
Mhm.
phrase or to the ledger. And I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure you could set it up whereas like you only need like a certain amount of consensus, or maybe like not if one
Yeah.
person didn't remember
What's-
you wouldn't.
You got to have a system in place, Jonathan. It's just like a trust. What happens when you have dementia, right? Someone takes
Yeah.
control of your assets in your estate.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's a good way to put
there
it.
should be something we set up. Like that's the other thing. I see now a whole economy that needs to be built in this space because now we need, like, we could go build so many software businesses today that will make a ton of money in this space because now we need to create the QuickBooks for cryptocurrency and the trusts for cryptocurrency and setting up your Wyoming LLC for cryptocurrency. So like all these digital businesses that exist in Web 2.0, we can go recreate in Web 3.0 really quickly.
Okay. These are my NFTs.
Boom.
Yeah.
So what do you get with the dead mouse ones? Ariel was telling me about the teddy bear. Do the dead mouse ones give you access to his Discord? Is he in there? Is he promoting?
He's in his
tours?
Discord. You can talk to him in Discord. He has like these are like 3D in the sandbox. He's like kind of big in sandbox. So apparently he's already one of the first ones that have done like some virtual concerts. So get tickets to like virtual concerts. And then like his roadmap has like real concerts, like select private like real concerts in the future. Yeah, and more to come. Obviously, a lot of these NFTs is kind of like a roadmap in works, right? Like most of them don't have it fully planned out, and they foresee more value added, which is kind of like the speculation aspect of a lot of these,
Okay, hold on. You're gonna have to back it up just a little bit. When you're talking about Dead Mouse, is it just the name of the picture, or is that music guy?
That's
the
the
music
music guy.
Okay.
So yeah, so let me add this context for Kean. So NFTs have popped out.
Kean.
Sorry,
No, it's Kean. Kean.
I don't even, it's fine.
which one is it?
Which one is it? It's Kean.
It's Kean, but
Like peeing, like I'm peeing.
Kean. You got it. That's okay.
Don't worry.
What do you got here? The Tribute DAO
Oh
framework.
well, yeah. No, keep going. But this.
I'll just cut to the chase. So
Yeah.
So Kean, what NFTs? Some NFTs are about art. I don't understand that. If you don't invest in art, don't invest in NFTs that are only art. But what's happened here is creatives are using NFTs to deliver digital content, and then now also physical interaction and community with them through NFTs. So instead of having to go through their record label or go through their artist or their talent, whatever, they're doing it directly. So by owning, a dead mouse NFT, what Ashton's actually bought is a ticket to Joel Zimmerman's like inner world. He's on Discord. He's hanging out there. I'm a huge fan of his, so I want to get in there and see if he'll go play some Rocket League with me.
Right.
Because he loves to do that. Like, this is my opportunity. Before, you couldn't do that. I couldn't get access to dead mouse, but he decided I like NFTs as a method to get my audience to engage with me. So they're tickets, they're entry, into your favorite artists, into your favorite musicians,
Community.
and you get direct access to them. You don't have to go through Live Nation or fucking Spotify or, you know, Apple anymore. That's
And like
the whole
in the
point.
future, like, or in the past, like there was, if I wanted to say something to Joel or like had an idea or even just like wanted to play, like you said, Rocket League with him, essentially there was no way I could do that. Like zero way. Like I could stalk him, or I could like, you know, just happen to get lucky and be in a game with him. And people are creating these like relationships with other communities way easier now, and like-minded individuals, which I think is like where it's heading, you know, kind of.
So now, so I've done 2 consulting projects for Mark Cuban backed startups so far. And I'm still like waiting for that opportunity to have one of those guys like intro me to Mark so I can, you know, try and pitch him. Now he has a crypto skull and so do I. So now we've got another piece of identity. Like I'm just, you know, as a startup guy, I'm just 1 in a million. He meets me all the time on Shark Tank, but I'm also a crypto skull, a level 2. What's he? A level 2? Oh, got something in common.
What's the level 2? I didn't even know there was levels.
There's levels.
Dude, Andrew was leveling up last night, dude. He was leveling up.
So look at yours. So you are uniqueness index number 22. So 48, click on that. Click on the uniqueness index. There you go. Oh, now, so do this. Click out of the 22. So kill the 20, the filter, the 22 filter in the middle. Sorry, scroll up.
Right above the first skull, Ashton. No, right.
Oh.
There you go. So kill the 22 filter. Now go to uniqueness index. Click on that. Now scroll down. Scroll all the way down. Scroll all the way down. Click on 1. Click on the bottom one. 1.
There's only 10.
These are the legendary skulls. That one right there. You see the. You see that one?
Oh, I like this one.
No. You see that one?
Get it, Ashton.
That's number 1. That's like that's Mark V's, right?
That's Gary V's.
Gary V's, yeah, sorry.
That's Gary Vaynerchuk Exploded Crypto Skulls, which is an NFT project from 2019 because he bought it. He came in and bought one for 100 Ethereum. So now Mark Cuban has one, Gary V has one, and I jumped on the Twitter with the developer. He's this guy out of Russia. He couldn't even speak English. There was a translator on this Twitter. And now he suddenly has the income and the community to get his ass in gear and go build the game because this was supposed to be got a token behind it. Got a skulls game. And then if you go look at the Twitter feed, people were asking like, you know, what's your game going to be like? And he's like, well, I believe that everybody's trying to launch a AAA crypto game and we don't believe in that. So ours is going to be really simple to start. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be super basic and pixelated and silly like Crypto Skulls. And then, you know, we'll build from there.
So you have a level 2 on Andrew? You have one of these
guys? Yes. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, sorry. I think I have a 26.
I love this. I love the Crossbones ones. That's the one I wanted.
Oh yeah. That's what I have. Yeah. I got a level 2. I got a Crossbones because I wanted a Crossbones with a beard. And I didn't want to get the best of the best, but I did want to get one that was like.
My guy has like a half yarmulke on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Anyways, but now I'm in. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to try and learn everything I can about just being in these communities and see what happens. Like, what do they build? Now, have you guys seen Bored Ape Yacht Club and what that's all about?
Hold on, real quick. Ashton, is your name Chode Magdos?
Yeah, Chode Magdos.
Is it Chode?
No,
like
it's Jazz.
Oh. Did you guys want to
Ariel has what's like Katina's getting really into the NFT space because she
so go to the 1989 sisters.
Check I was just gonna ask about this. So
Ariel picked up. I dragged poor Ariel into my world, and finally she fell down the damn rabbit hole and bought 2 NFTs before me, technically.
Yeah, so that was my question.
I had some crypto kitties back in 2017. I was breeding crypto kitties back then, but. So she's the first one. So true story, going back a little bit, I almost launched an NFT. Back in March when NFTs were exploding, a friend of mine is good friends with a really famous retired soccer star from the US, and we were going to launch his NFT for him. We were going to do the cards. It was going to be, we were talking to the teams who did the Gronk and the Patrick Mahomes NFTs. So we were on the phone with Black Madre and Impossible Brief. Anyways, I never pulled the trigger then. I never bought any NFTs. Gary V was launching his V friends, and I was sitting there. He's like, install your MetaMask. And I was like, I got a fucking MetaMask. He's like, get your 1 Ether. And I was like, I got like 10 Ether. Like, You're like, who are you? And then he like pulled the trigger on launching VFriends, and I never bought any. And by the time I went to go get one, they were like 20 Ether, 30 Ether. And so then, yeah, Ariel bought these NFTs because this is an example where we don't know yet what this is going to be, but this woman is a designer, fashion designer, works with Chanel and Louis Vuitton, Yves Saint Laurent, and other famous brands. So she created this homage to her twin sister and just created, 1,900 NFTs. But now it's a community of women. Reese Witherspoon is in there. Who's the other one? Like a bunch of, celebrity women, entrepreneur women, NFT women are all getting together. And then they're kind of just group thinking of ideas of, what do we want to do? What kind of purpose do we want to be about? And that eventually can lead to something that you were pulling up, which is the DAO, right? Then how do we organize ourselves around that purpose and mission in such a way that there's structure and governance, and use smart contracts so we can't get rug pulled, and so that people can't,
Yeah. Just real quick to touch on what you were saying with Ariel, I feel like my wife has done the same thing, and she loves looking at these things. She loves the art aspect. She's really into, and I've seen on crypto Twitter, like these women, like it's like kind of like this is a big way that a lot of women are coming into the space, especially when they find art that kind of relates with them. Mm-hmm. And for example, like she was really into this. We ended up buying this for like just under ETH, and now the floor is like almost 1.5, has been fluctuating over there. And again, because I think Reese Witherspoon posted one of these, a couple of famous people are posting these, and that was just like 2 days ago. I think Twitter got this like verification. It's like makes your profile picture like a hexagon or something when you have an actual NFT that's uploaded on it. Yep. And so it's that's like
the hex picture is big right now.
Yeah, it's like a verifiable. People can verify that this is like a real NFT. There has been cases of people like they just posting the picture and they like Photoshop the edges so that it looks like a hexagon. So there's been workarounds already. Scammers already. Man, scammers.
Sure,
this has been, like,
sure.
But I'm sure they'll fix it and they'll figure out a way for it to be less scammable. But it's interesting. Okay, yeah, the DAO. I brought this up because I was like, me and Jonathan have been talking. You and Jonathan have been talking. I've like really been wanting to start a DAO and then kind of start it and then figure it out. That's how I want to do it. Because I feel like that's kind of how a lot of these things go. Start it in a safe way, then kind of figure it out. Just like these NFTs, make a picture, then figure out what the value is. But dude, and this, I watched an interview that actually from the podcast that you sent me within kind of the prior ones, and there's this thing called Tribute DAO, and it's like a very well-established DAO structure that you can borrow from, kind of like piecemeal, take the parts that you like and build your own DAO. However, it's not like the interface isn't that easy. It's not like a drag and drop thing. It feels like you need to know a little bit of computer programming or a little bit more outside of my scope. But it's very well laid out for you here. It's just kind of the language is a little bit like beyond me, or it would take a little bit.
Moloch framework, I know that.
It would take Moloch yeah, it would take. So I wanted to throw this out there. It's obviously nothing that we would go through kind of today because it's dense. But I think that would be the way that this could happen easier. Yeah, and it feels like there's a lot you can do with these DAOs. It feels like a company that has like whatever rules you want to instate.
Yeah. I'll throw this as a proposal out there. I saw something that I want to go find another time of people basically saying like, well, here, in this stage of Web3, now the roadmap keeps evolving. So it was ICO, right? And then NFT, and then DAO, and then basically everybody now, after you launch your NFT, everybody starts to tweet like win game.
Yeah, win game, win moon.
Win game. When are you going to launch your game? So I don't want to be so boring as everybody else, but I really think we should look at building a DAO to launch a game. And the best part is, what game? Let's let the DAO decide. Let's let the community decide.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
That's kind of the point. I think the game is the best. Win DAO, exactly. What I like, and I have an interesting lens on this because I came from the e-commerce world. So I understand like building an audience, getting them interested in a product, and then delivering the product, but also creating a relationship so that the customer comes back to you over and over again for a reason that has nothing to do with your product.
It's kind of like a
That's
game.
really
You want that
important.
loop. You want that addicting game loop.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, a lot of the projects is the problem I'm seeing is they still eventually, all the DAOs and all the things need to create some sort of value. They do need to create transactions, and a game is truly valuable. It is a digital thing that creates value for people because it's entertainment.
Right.
And some of us think that in the future world, thanks to blockchain, everybody will have what they need finally, and it'll just all be about like having creative lifestyles. Like we'll all just live the best lives where money won't be an issue. We'll get the resources we need, and we all get to be creative and design and build.
Elon said that to me like 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago. He was like looking at me one time. He's like, Ashton, in the future, you won't need to work anymore. It'll just be about being artistic and creative, and that's what I see the future. And he was spot on. I totally agree with that.
It's happening. This is the all of a sudden the creatives have the power in this economy because they don't need those third parties.
Totally.
That's what I propose. I think gaming DAO, game DAO or something. Or
let's do it.
How now
like
Brown Cow, I think is great.
I'm gonna be starting. I'm likely to be starting multiple DAOs this year. But But I have an idea for one. So
I have a gaming DAO. So actually, we can activate my DAO if we want. So I have a DAO. So the joke here is DAOs and NFTs I see as communities, and I have a community of esports gamers. So I used to be a professional gamer in college, and I built a clan back then called the Gooch Assassins. They exist today, and they run themselves without me. And if I ever step back in as their leader, like that's like a community of gamers that I already have lined up. So if we wanted to do a World War II based game, like I'm already tapped into that. There's a huge community of World War II gamers that I'm a part of.
World War II gamers.
Yeah, big time, massive community that I basically kind of run autonomously. I haven't.
But you don't really have to actively do much, do you?
No, I know the leader Beefy. He and I are friends. He's been running it without me for 15 years. Yeah, he lives around here.
I've noticed.
I could just walk in one day and be like, "Hey guys, time to formalize this. Here's all your NFT profile pictures. Get on Twitter and get on your gaming, and let's go have fun and let's build a community and then see what happens."
Yeah, that would be that's interesting.
Not saying that's the thing we're going to do, but I'm just saying as an example. Like I'm going to do
even
that
if
as an experiment.
even if we didn't activate that DAO, it's like it's a place you can go to promote or help or empower a bunch of people to do whatever they wanted to do with whatever we wanted to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You can also say that if we need help with the programming side of things, my brother Neil is a programmer. That's what he does. Awesome. And he was talking to me recently about wanting to do some sort of side work, so you might be interested.
Okay, cool. That reminds me.
I can vouch for Neil. He has a sweet ponytail.
Nice. Yeah, let's do it.
He's got
We're
some
gonna have
Ashton
to.
hair.
We're gonna have
What's
to
that?
some stuff.
He said he's got some Ashton hair.
He does. Him and Ashton are in a serious rivalry with that hair, actually.
Rivalry? No, we're in a clan. We're in a clan.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I like that. The bun clan.
Yeah.
Man bun. That's a good PFP project.
Man bun. Damn. Yeah, you're right.
I like that.
And you've probably actually seen him without even knowing it, since my parents live just a few houses from you, and he's always over there.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Fersht? Don't they live?
Yeah. Kean's parents live off on Quail Run, like 5 houses up from your street or whatever it is.
From me,
or
right?
Just a couple, yeah.
Yeah. So who is this? It's your cousin or your brother?
His parents.
That's my parents' house, but my brother goes there like every week.
Gotcha. What does he
And
look
he's got
like? He has a ponytail?
What's that?
You said he has a ponytail?
He's got long hair. It's not normally in a ponytail, though.
Gotcha.
His hair looks just like Ashton's, basically. Same thing, like longer curly hair
Curly,
down to
super
his
curly like mine.
shoulders or lower. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, what are we looking at here, Ashton?
This is so.
Game token.
I try to get into like some of these like real like niche gaming coins. I follow a couple of YouTubers and I kind of like similar to like you were saying. I think gaming has a lot of potential in the upcoming years, and if it's done right, obviously just like NFTs, there's a lot of shit out there. And to develop a good game, it takes a commitment and a team. But unfortunately, a lot of these gaming tokens, if you're trying to make money and you're not like super like long term oriented, which is hard to be with some of these games like super long term because you have no idea. But if you want to get in and out and be able to maybe either make a profit or at least make your money back, so you can hold some of these coins longer term and be able to do it kind of risk free or without like the worry that you need to sell or worry if it goes down 90% that you're fucked. So I try. There's these launch pads. What a lot of coins have done is like they'll create their own coin, whether it's Seedify is one of them. There's so many dot pad. There's all these different launch pads, and the launch pads are responsible for releasing the new gaming tokens. Mm-hmm. So they release the gaming tokens to the people that hold their launch pad tokens first as an IGO or an IDO. Like the initial offering is only given to their launch pad token holders. So I've become a part of 2 of these launch pads, but then quickly realized that, and you have to stake a certain amount of their tokens in order to be qualified for their launch pads. And a lot of people have made a lot of money because you get, essentially as soon as it goes live on an exchange, it's already 5x, 10x. So they've already made huge profits. They're already able to get their money back or whatever. And this was one of them that launched on Seedify a couple of days ago at 2 cents. It was if you got in, you got it at 2 cents. It's a game called Sin City. The general thesis of the game is that it's called Mafia as a DAO. You play the game as like a mafia, kind of like a what's that game where you're in the streets just killing people?
GTA.
GTA. It's like GTA, but you play with your friends and you create a mafia, and it's actually like a DAO, so you can actually earn money through it and kind of create your own game DAO within the game. It has a lot of hype. I like the team, but in the United States, unfortunately, we are not allowed to participate in these like launches. Like it finds your IP address, and then when I went to like buy the tokens, it was like you can't. And so it kind of like, it sucks, and I think it's fucking stupid.
Well, you can VPN.
What's that?
You can VPN to fix that.
Yeah,
right.
That's what people were doing. They were VPN, but now a lot of companies have gone through this other secondary company that requires you to KYC.
Gotcha.
So you can't just VPN. And
yeah.
You have to
if they have KYC. Now KYC is different. Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah. It used to just be like you could just VPN and whatever, but now, so that's unfortunate. So now the only way to do it in America for these things is this thing called Copper Fair Launch, which works as a Dutch auction. And I don't know if you've never ever participated or seen a Dutch auction. It starts off high, and then the price goes down at a set rate over time. And then as people buy, buy can kind of level off the rate of decrease over time. Usually it starts off decreasing pretty heavily. And then as it gets to like a point that people see fair, like I said, this one IDO'd at 2 cents. So like essentially like here. So this is where people are breaking even. So most people, you would suspect that a lot of them will get bought around here. Anyways,
this is interesting. Yeah, I want to look at this. I see what this is, because I was going to say this means that this isn't listed on like a DeFi exchange, because what you can do, right, is you can go to Uniswap right now and you can go get whatever coins you want, because you did your KYC through like Coinbase, and after that, your crypto's yours. But I
not even listed on the decentralized exchange until afterwards, because the decentralized exchanges are just people peer-to-peer sharing their tokens, and you don't even get the tokens yet. You don't even have the tokens from the IDO yet, so it's just kind of like they're not allocated yet.
Gotcha.
So they can't be exchanged.
Copper Launch. So Copper Launch is a U.S. based place.
It's not just U.S. based, but it's U.S. allowed. Yeah.
U.S. allowed. Gotcha. And so just walk me through it again. So what does it allow you to do? The company came here. They're using Copper to launch.
This is like the main website. You have to go to all auctions, and you have to know the project, because anyone can put a project on here. So you can put people can just put shit up here and just try to like scam and make money. So you have to know what you're getting into. You have to have know what you're looking for. You don't want to just go in here and be like, oh, this one is launching today, like blah blah blah. Like, I know this
about
project.
This from that podcast guy.
This is from Alex Becker. He's like one of my gaming. He's like my gamer. I think I sent him to you too. Yeah,
he's the most woke, good-looking.
yeah. He plays like a WWE character on YouTube, but he's pretty smart, and he's made tens of millions of dollars doing this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So proper, that's what I was saying. This seems like this is where he's getting access to. This is all early stage gaming companies.
Yeah, and I think these guys actually live in they have houses in Puerto Rico, and they have other passports with other people, and they find their workarounds. Dual citizenship. If you can get Kean actually could be our IGO trader, and all you need is a passport. He can if he's willing to KYC in Switzerland or whatever.
I'm actually working on my Swiss passport.
Okay, because having another passport right now is huge, and if you could get that for the DAO or something in a way that we could purchase through that KYC into the DAO, we could get ahead of you're ahead of all the US retail and everybody and all the US.
Well, the DAO, you wouldn't have to do that necessarily.
I guess how would you buy it? How would you buy it though?
How would you buy?
Let's say you wanted to get for the DAO, you wanted to buy early IGO tokens on this game or this project that was only releasing through one of these launch pads or whatever that you couldn't be in the United States. A lot of them have US restrictions. So, and let's say, obviously if a VPN worked, that would be easy. But if they needed KYC information for you to get it and we wanted it, someone would have to KYC.
I see. Yeah.
Outside of
I was thinking of it in terms of if we actually set up a DAO, I'm pretty sure it's a separate entity, right? It's not any of us. So we shouldn't be using any of our personal information to set up a DAO. The DAO itself is. So that's what I'll have to research this. Wyoming recognizes
that
DAOs,
one guy was saying though,
need to know,
in the DAO, he would in his DAO, occasionally there would be a guy, one of the members would see a project early on, and they would if they really believed in it and they didn't have time to ask the DAO or they didn't whatever, and they felt fine, comfortably do it, they would buy it, and then they could approach the DAO and be like, hey, is this something you guys are still interested in? Are you guys interested in now? I bought it early because I felt like I was on the forefront of this trend or whatever. If it's something you guys are interested, you guys can just buy it for what I bought it for.
I see. Cool. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so the DAO itself can be a US based entity, but then we need to have a third party that transacts on our behalf to get assets into the DAO, and we'll do you'll do an on chain transfer. That makes sense.
My cousin's in England. Could Byron?
Yeah.
He's into cryptocurrency.
They seem like the type of people that would be down.
Yeah, he's definitely into this stuff.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna unshare this. There's nothing else.
But
actually, one more quick crypto news, and then we can transition to maybe some just other stuff. Oh shoot, where is it?
But real quick, my battery's about to die, so I need to either figure out to plug it in or.
Yeah, plug it in.
Okay, give me a minute.
Shoot, I might have lost the link. Essentially, AVAX launched. They did the first ILO, initial litigation offering. And I just thought it was interesting. It's they collected $10 billion to sue a company that essentially burned down a bunch of hemp for a hemp grow operation illegally in Northern California. And so these people came together. No one was going to press charges on their behalf, and so they launched a token to raise money to sue these people. And now, the token gets a distribution of, should they win, we'll get a distribution of their winnings or the money. Obviously, they can lose, but it's this whole new way to empower the I guess you could say underrepresented or just underfunded. And then I was wondering, I guess they could trade these tokens. If it became close to the time that they were about to win and the value was unforeseen, you could it's so interesting. It's so weird.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But,
they got $10 billion to do this.
Million. Sorry, did I say billion?
I don't know.
It's crypto. It's billions and millions. It's whatever.
Millions and billions. It's all in ETH, anyways.
All right. Well, I know it's getting towards the end. I just wanted to. I wanted to talk to Andrew and Fersht about having kids. I'm scared of having kids.
Oh.
You should be.
I should be. Mainly, do you just does the patience and stuff just grow? You just grow into it? Because I get frustrated. I was telling Fersht, I get frustrated with my cats in the morning, and is it just something that I don't know.
No, it's gonna get worse. I've never been more frustrated in my life. I'm trying to give it to you straight. No, the
No,
pandemic
I
changes
understand.
everything. Pre-pandemic, you can't complain. Your kids are cute and annoying, and you don't sleep, and they poop in your arms, and they throw things and gobble gooble. I think every family has different kids and different stages of life, and you're going to
Yeah.
enjoy all of it. It's not
Yeah.
really that scary, but you do grow up pretty quick.
Yeah.
When you have that first kid, and all of a sudden you're up every night, all night, like taking care of something besides yourself.
Yeah.
Kicks you in the pants, and you're like, all right, that's the purpose of life. That's why we're here.
That's the purpose.
But why do you want to give up all that free time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a good question.
You start to get more efficient, right? I was just a lazy bum the first 34 years of my life, and then had kids. It's like, you ain't got time to be a bum anymore. Like, you want hobbies, you want free time, you want to travel, and you want money. You got to be a lot more efficient, and you got to start to look at the things in your life that aren't adding value. So you go through a pretty big personal transformation when you have kids.
Yeah, it's like one of the only things that kind of makes you selfless, it feels like, but that's scary. Kind of coming back to you, I was telling Kean that work, you were saying you get more efficient. Like, work is one of those things that, like, it expands to fill the space. Like, tasks do that. There's like that law, like, if however much like time and space you give it, like, it will expand to fill that. So if you don't have a lot, then you just become like more efficient.
Yep. No, it's true. So there's different techniques. Everybody sort of has their own productivity hacks, and you can look at the Pomodoro method, the tomato method of timing. You can do time blocking. That's like a big one right now. So there's just a few different ways. Like, a lot of people are big on creating, creative spaces for yourself. Give yourself an hour to not look at email and just kind of think and come up with ideas and brainstorm before digging back into.
Do you guys have pretty like strict routines that you stick by on, like, maybe call it a work day or a day that you want to get stuff done? Sure, there's times where you just want to fly by the seat of your pants, but do you guys stick like with a pretty regimented like schedule?
Yeah. We have a pretty regimented schedule, but I think it helps. Helps
like
to build consistency and momentum. I don't know.
Does that translate over with like other things besides just work? Is it like your diet and like your exercise and things like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just got to try and be disciplined across the board in some respect. But
it gets me to remember that, like, I guess with vices or with anything, there's like a very fast return. Like, you get a high return pretty fast. Like, the benefits of exercise and eating and whatever, you get like a. Is it a drum set? No.
No,
Nice.
It's going to be hard to see because it's glass, but I use this as my
whiteboard.
whiteboard. But that's actually I built this system at the beginning of the year. Same thing. So those are all my vices and how much time I waste on them. And then I'm looking at my schedule of all the things I want to do with like fitness, spending time with my kids, and trying to get work done and time blocking it. And then I'm making the trade-offs. If I want to accomplish something here, what do I have to give up? And how many hours do I gain by doing it? So,
yeah, exactly.
I've tried other methods, and I just haven't been able to form good habits and get better structure. So I'm just going to keep like getting more specific. Like, okay, Andrew, like, do I need to put a calendar on your watch that tells you like when to drink the water and when to go to the gym? If that's how it is, then they'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'll put it. But that takes time to build a system for yourself.
Yeah, it does.
So I also need time to sit here. Like, I'm not done yet. I'm like halfway through this. I need to get it into the calendar, but I keep
and it kind of adapts. Right?
Myself.
It kind of shifts over time. You need, it can't be super rigid. It has to be willing to make like some changes over time.
Yeah. And I keep prioritizing the actual important stuff, like spending time with my kids. But yeah.
But anyways, it kind of just showed how like the positive benefits of a lot of things kind of level off very fast, whereas the negative things, while they can be like small at first, they grow really fast over, as you overdo or you overindulge in stuff. So kind of just to maintain that moderation where you're gaining the kind of maximum benefit while keeping like the negative or side effects, if you want to call them, kind of to a minimum. But yeah. Yep. And then my mantra.
Reading?
What?
I was gonna say, are you guys reading anything these days? Any like good books?
I'm looking for a book. I'm looking for a book right now.
I got some.
I bought a book about a year and a half ago, and I've about 3 pages in now.
It's good.
You got
Good
it?
progress.
Nice. I've got Yoni. I think you should start with this book. It's really technical and philosophical and really hard, but this is what you guys should first read. This is gonna like explain what's going on in Web3 because it's basically talking about how Google and everyone. Oh, sorry, it was upside down. That's why the Google was upside down. I was like, why doesn't that look right? Anyways, this is a good book, Yoni. You should read this one, and then what else? That's about it. I think for crypto right now.
It talks specifically about Web3 in there?
Oh, yeah. This is called Life After Google, the fall of big data and the rise of the blockchain economy.
Oh, interesting.
Like this explains from a real philosophy. So this guy goes back and helps explain like what is artificial intelligence? How is it based on Markov and Midas models? So he gets into like this theory of how AI is actually prediction models that we're trying to build. And his ultimate theory is we'll never achieve AI the way Google and Apple have convinced us. Like, we're not going to have this assistant that can walk around and just be so smart that it's going to do all our shit for us. Instead, he's like, it's actually the blockchain economy that's really going to be the next evolution of what matters in the economy. That's what he's saying. He's like, he doesn't think AI is what it's all cracked up to be.
Interesting.
You know, the last good book I actually read, I think it was called Everybody Lies, and it was based off like all the Google data. Some guy did his thesis on it, like pulled massive amounts of data from Google and just did all sorts of analysis on it. And it was actually really interesting.
I'd like to check that out. That sounds cool.
Awesome. Thanks for the recommendation. Yep. I wanted a book on like innovations over the past like decade, but that's probably.
I probably, hold on. I've got one of those. I got it.
My ADD is kicking in.
Yeah, we're done basically.
Yeah, you start paying me extra at the 2-hour mark, so I see it just ticked over. So.
I'll pay you in decreasing Cardano.
Send me the buy signal, dude.
I don't think you need to say decreasing on right now. I think it goes for everything.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything else. So
that's okay. We're wrapping it up. Thanks, guys.
Good first messy podcast. Way to go.
Yeah, it was good.
Should we set some goals for the next one? I think one, I'd like to have my Xbox going at the same time. So I'm like doing a little Halo while we're chatting.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
I like
live
that.
streaming on Twitch.
I'll get it on Twitch. Yeah. So next time I'll set this up so we can do it live, and we'll have an audience asking questions if you guys want. Ashton, I don't know about this, but look into like how to protect your screen. Like if in future podcasts or if you post this, like make sure that like your keys aren't accidentally viewable.
Good idea.
That kind of stuff. Like I'm just never certain and haven't been able to do the research myself. And I'm going to do that for us. Like one podcast or one blog we could do is like all about like, how do you really control your keys in this environment? Like, here's all the steps you should take. Here's like a system of setting up a hot wallet that moves to a cold wallet. Like, you know, I think it part of what I'd like this podcast to be is information for the general public.
Yeah, for sure.
To get them into this space and to help them do it safely.
For sure. I like that. Next week?
Can't do it next week.
Next week, I'm around, but the following week, I'm not.
No, next week is Mammoth.
Is that next week? Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday's
Sorry.
no-go?
Kean's right. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone next weekend, Thursday till Sunday. Gone.
Okay. Well, it would be nice to try to do it weekly just to kind of get a routine and a rhythm to it. I think like there are some other people. My brother I know would come on. So if if everyone can't make it, it's not a huge deal.
Do you want to start with bi-weekly? You want to do that?
Sure.
Do twice a month?
We could just do the next week.
It's so crazy. Like when I started this, it was probably maybe it was more than that. It was maybe like 3 weeks ago when we started talking about it. It's like there's so much news every day and so much shit every day. It's
true.
It's so hard to like.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So
we do gotta do that.
So yeah, bi-weekly might be fine to start off with initially, but like I'd love to try to get to weekly just to touch in and it doesn't have to be as long. This was like almost like this is long. It doesn't have to be this long every time. We're still figuring out like the wiggles.
Yeah, well, we could do weekday, but I mean,
yeah.
Or me and Kean can co-pod from Mammoth.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are literally on just laptops, so it's very flexible.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, we'll be next to each other under a blanket on the couch with the
Nice.
laptop on our laps.
So cute.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, send me any topics you guys are interested in. Anything? I'm really interested in starting that DAO. It sounds like you guys have already like done it already. So
No, let's do it together. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I've got some ideas. I've not done it.
So I'm
but
saying,
I have
yeah,
some
we need-
ideas, and I've got like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of work.
We
to be
need to
done.
start a DAO
So,
amongst
we gotta do it together.
with ourselves, with the
Mhm.
4 of us or whatever, and then I think, obviously.
That's how we learn.
You can do several of these things. Yeah, it'll be a good learning experience, and then maybe one of us will have an idea to start something different or whatever.
And,
Yeah.
shoot me a text or email with your brother's information. I'd love to just like reach out to him.
Sorry, who'd you say?
I said just shoot me a text with your brother's information, either phone or email, and I can just like reach out with him. I'd love to talk to him.
Well, I'll tell you this: he's not a crypto person, but he's a programmer and he's looking for something.
He's smart.
What?
He's smart. He knows about this stuff. He's just, I don't know. He probably was like so risk averse.
That's exactly what it
avoided
is.
it. Yeah.
He's very, very conservative with his money.
Just real quick, speaking of risk averse, can you just flash us your silver bar? Do you have it next to you?
Yeah, 1 second.
And then we'll chill. We'll go.
What is that? Is 40-ounce silver bar or something?
Yeah, I don't know, 7 pounds, 7 ounces.
It's
A resident Peter Schiff here.
How much?
7 pounds.
So yeah,
It's like 100 ounces.
got it.
You're a little off.
So it's worth $2,500.
What's
That's
that?
cool.
What's
The
that?
bar is
silver
silver.
bar.
I got silly and
How
bought
much
it.
is that worth?
It's like 2,500.
2,500.
And then
Can I
it's
show
like
you
a
guys?
little
Yeah,
thing
show
of
you guys.
platinum that's worth like almost the same.
Nice.
That's platinum.
What's been your return on that?
Actually, it's probably the only thing going up right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Silver and gold are doing well right
Gotcha.
now.
Do you guys want to see my best investment? I bought something for $500 5 years ago, and it's probably worth about $5,000 today.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good return, right?
I'd take it.
Yeah.
This bad boy.
Oh, is that the? Yeah.
One of the
Flamethrower.
original Elon Musk.
Did you pay in
flamethrowers.
Dogecoin though?
I did it. Doge didn't exist back then.
No, I know. They don't make those anymore, dude. They don't sell them.
No, this thing could go for 5 G's on eBay right now.
Have you shot it?
Nope, untouched. I still have the $5 from Elon himself with the signed letter. Like I haven't touched it or anything. So
That's
if I
nice,
want,
nice.
great investment.
Hell yeah.
Solid asset.
I was gonna say, do you guys want to maybe one podcast we each put in like a couple $100 and we invest in something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with my I got 31 Z coins we can play around with.
Yeah, it would have to all be in
to
crypto.
whatever we want. Yeah,
What's a Z coin? What's a Z coin worth?
Doesn't matter. Oh, like $5 right now. I think I've got
Okay.
$100 in crypto that I've mined from my computer, so I'll throw that in the pool. But
Yeah,
I'll
that could be
convert
a
it.
fun little
Like
thing.
let's put it
We'll
into
pick our weekly investment or bi-weekly investment together, and we'll.
yeah.
it'll be fun.
Well, I think we should buy like 1 or 2 coins and do everything, like stake them together. Like we'll mine them on my machine together, stake them together, buy an NFT with them together. Like we can do like a couple different steps just to learn.
I'm dabbling in like the DeFi space, like with these different platforms that kind of like. I'll have to show you guys next time.
Yeah, that I don't get. Like the
Yeah.
DeFi part of this space, I don't understand at all.
I'll have to. We'll dabble in it together next time.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend. It's good talking
Enjoy
to
your
you.
weekend.
Good chat,
Adios.
boys.
All right.
Later.